Hey guys, this is a Patreon and Super Thanks Q&A. If you want to be in next week's video, you can check out the link in the description to the Patreon. You can sign up there, or you can check the Super Thanks button below this video as well. Baby Eye asks, what do you think happened in the timeline that Saitama left after Garo taught him how to time travel? Did God take over? Thank you again for the awesome question this week, Baby Eye. I appreciate it. So what Baby Eye is referencing here is what happens at the end of the Saitama versus Cosmic Fear Garo fight. So after Garo steals God's powers, or receives them without fully becoming his puppet because he only slaps his hand, but anyway, he starts emitting cosmic radiation in his new form. And he essentially kills everyone in that vicinity, like all of the heroes, A through S class. Except Blast, of course, because he's Blast. And then, he, kills Genos by punching him through the chest. And after Saitama winds up defeating Garo, after coming back from the moon of Jupiter, Garo realizes what he had done, especially killing Tario. And in his last act of remorse and redemption, he teaches Saitama how to travel back in time by manipulating energy. And also, before Saitama goes back in time, God kills Garo by, taking his powers back and turning him into, salt. It's like a play on the Bible or whatever. Saitama can do this just because he's Saitama. It's like a subconscious type of thing. And Saitama winds up leaving that timeline, like his tangible corporeal form, and goes to a previous timeline right before Garo winds up killing everyone with his cosmic radiation. And he just, zero punches Garo. The punch that he wound up throwing in the current timeline that lands in the previous timeline. Saitama's powered up form that Garo pushed him to on the moon of Jupiter, hitting the previous version of Garo that wasn't as powerful because he himself had been pushed up the power levels as well. So that timeline that Saitama left, which was the present main timeline that we had followed for the entire series, the first 167 chapters or whatever up until that point, that still exists, although it's just been abandoned now because Saitama left it, and then once he did, he merged with his physical self that existed in the new timeline that he entered in the past. So what's going on in that timeline? Because like I said, it's still there, so we could just assume not good things. The only heroes that should be left at this point are Watchdog Man, Blast, Metal Knight, and I guess that's it. I could be wrong. And Saitama's gone as well. He went to the previous timeline. So that world is ripe for the taking, I guess. So what I imagine happens is Drive Knight takes advantage of this because, in my opinion, Drive Knight is, if not the leader of the organization, he's one of the high-ranking individuals in it. And I won't go into too much spoilers for the webcomic, but just, I have to talk about a little bit of that stuff. Whatever happens with the robot invasion, that just successfully happens, I guess, because there's no one there to stop it, right? I mean, I don't think Blast is going to come there to stop it because he's dealing with God right now. And we actually recently found out in the most recent chapter that if Blast leaves his post for too long, then God's powers start becoming more accessible or something, and then he could just send these beasts through dimensions or whatever. And if Drive Knight succeeds, then I think that ultimately leads to him resurrecting God one way or another, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And the only line of defense against all of this is Blast and his Guardians of the Galaxy, Watchdog Man, and Metal Knight. And that's definitely not enough. So I guess that timeline is just doomed to be taken over by God and Drive Knight. And it also makes you wonder, God can see over all of these timelines, right? Or at least he is aware of what's going on. So is he existing in multiple timelines, or is he just one entity existing across all timelines? Kind of like a universal constant being in Marvel, if you're familiar with those type of cosmic beings, where throughout the entire multiverse there's only one of them. If Saitama isn't a multiversal constant being, because obviously we've seen that there's multiple of him in the timelines for him to merge, then why would God be? I don't know. There's still just a lot of questions we need to be answered. And I do think that this timeline stuff is going to be addressed again, you know, because they still have Geonosis core from the future, technically. But yeah, that's the best guess that I have right now. It's just essentially a doomed timeline. If God doesn't take it over, then Drive Knight will. Angus Horrocks asks, hey, Epico bro, been subscribed to you since 2019. When you had like 25,000 subs, you're almost at 300,000 now. It has been awesome to see you grow. My question is, if all of the Upper Moons and Muzan joined the Monster Association, how do things change for the heroes? Hey, thank you for the long time support, Angus. Really appreciate it, my friend. So if Muzan and the Upper Moons join the Monster Association, I guess you mean like during that big arc when that was still happening, things would have changed a little bit, but not much. I don't think the Upper Moons are really much stronger than Dragon level, I guess. Muzan is probably the biggest threat here for sure, right? I mean, he wasn't like the most skilled of his group. Like Kokushibo was probably more skilled than Muzan. Muzan wasn't really like a skilled fighter. He was just kind of like a brute force type of guy, right? He just got by on being just so overpowered that he could just overcome whatever. He was kind of like Saitama of his world in a way. You know, not mentioning Yoriichi, who obviously would destroy him if they fought again. But considering that they have regeneration and all that stuff, and the super speed and the super strength, they would be difficult to deal with for sure. But I'm pretty sure like Atomic Samurai, if pushed far enough, could probably stand up to somebody like Muzan. I could be wrong about that, but if not him, then I think Tatsumaki could easily take care of all of them by herself. Because it would get to the point of where Tatsumaki would fight them, right? And I just don't think that they would fare that well. I mean, if things played out exactly the same and Psychos was able to exhaust and injure Tatsumaki, then things would be different. But if Tatsumaki had just come across them organically, she would take them out, probably. So what I'm basically saying is that I don't think they would be strong enough to, like, radically change what happens ultimately. Like, it's not like if Viltrumites or something came into the Monster Association. They would obviously change everything, but like the Upper Moons and Muzan, they would make a difference, but I don't think they would just push it in the favor of the Monster Association ultimately winning. Ronan Ronstad 5097 with the $2 super thanks says, I can't stop farting. Hey, thank you, Ronan, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. And if you can't stop farting, has it gotten to the point of where, like, you're worried about it? Like, just every, like, couple minutes, you're just... If that's the case, probably go to a doctor. But if you're just, like, farting a lot throughout the day, that seems to be a GI issue, which might come from your diet. So you should just do, like, I think they call it, like, the removal diet or whatever. Like, keep slowly removing things from your diet until you figure out what's making you fart. I know you're just joking, and I'm not supposed to give, like, a serious answer, but there might be some people who have this issue, and they were just curious how to fix that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Thank you to everyone who submitted their questions for this week. Again, if you want to be in next week's video, Patreon link in the description or the super thanks button right below this video. Have a great day, guys. See you in the next one.